So who are these time clock torturers specifically, besides your boss and, you know, that really annoying person in the cubicle next to you, the person that, you know, you're grinding your teeth to have to sit next to every day? Who are these time clock torturers? Because I want to talk about this. And everything breaks down into another component. You know, you have the fight with the hybrid empaths versus sociopaths. You have that scenario, which breaks down into the weasel-faced dogs, the specific sociopaths that you'll deal with, right? Those workspace weasels. But they're all time clock torturers. They all create an 8-hour fucking, you know, stressful event or more. And this is what these people do. But specifically, I want to talk about some of the tactics they use. And I think bullying is one of those things that primarily goes on the top of the list. Bullying. Now, how so? Well, not necessarily like when you were on the playground as a child. Not necessarily getting pushed or anything like that. Things that'll get someone fired. But the bullying is all psychological. You'll see these people at your job, and, you know, they'll wait for you to get to work. You know, these could be just regular co-workers is what I'm saying. And, you know, you'll pull up in the parking lot, and they'll be in the parking lot waiting for you, and they'll be in their little groups, and they'll be talking about you, and they'll make sure to make eye contact with you and, you know, give you these looks to show you that they disapprove of you somehow. So you face that going to work every day. And for those of you who work on the clock or something, maybe you take a lunch break at certain times, or you go to certain places to have that break. You know, you're punching out, you're leaving, they're standing there waiting at the clock for you, trying to figure out why you're leaving early or what you're doing when you go home, or was there some type of family emergency, and they'll try to get close to you and say, oh, yeah, how you doing, man? Everything okay? They'll ask you these questions. I keep talking about these questions. Because they want to find out some of your personal information, and they're going to take this information, okay, and they're going to, you know, spread it around amongst your other coworkers, maybe your boss. And all of this information will be useful when your boss wants to bring you down. When your boss knows that you have to get off because you have another job, or maybe you have some babysitting duties, your children are out of school or something at a certain time. And that boss will hold on to that like you know, like they're playing poker or something. They'll hold on to that card because they're going to play it one day. You know, the most opportune time that they find available to play this game. So that day that, you know, your child breaks his leg, you know, during recess or something where you have to leave early, they'll pull out this card and they'll throw it out on the table. And that card will be, oh, you gotta get your work done, or I don't know. They'll do all of these things. Instead of just letting you go like a normal, decent supervisor would do, they got to play these games. They got to get into your business and make you tell them everything, you know. And it's unnecessary, but it's part of a bullying campaign, a tactic that they use to whip you into shape, right? Your flying monkey co-workers will get off and have these vacations, and they'll get their days off during the week, and they may have you working, you know, like I always say, if you're working 40 hours a week, you know, that's about 5 days or something. They'll have you working 7 days, or they'll have you working 6 days, and maybe on that 7th day you only were coming in for a few hours, 3 hours or something. So they're not even going to properly let you make your overtime pay, for those of you who work on the clock or something. See, it's all a game, right? And the first time that you seem like you don't want to toe the line, so to speak, then you'll be insubordinate. And they'll have that in your file. And see, that's just part of another step to getting you out of the door. Because that'll be the big joke. Right? Yeah, sure. After you're gone, they'll find some other victim, and they'll play that person until they jump off a bridge or something. They'll do whatever they're going to do. But until then, you are the primary target in your workplace. You know it because the co-workers that you have, you know, they all seem to, you know, support each other no matter what. That person could do something wrong to you. That person could steal from you, assault you, do anything. They could catch that person tampering with your car. They won't tell you. Throw your keys in the trash, they could watch that and they won't tell you. See? Because they want to see you hurt as well. Now, the interesting thing, like I always say, is that if you haven't done anything to these people, what would warrant them to want to harm you in such a way? You know? It's just they go through just painstaking measures to just do you in. Simple things. They won't do their job. They'll leave the, everything to you. You'll come back off of your break, and if I don't know what type of jobs you guys do. You could be doing manual labor. You could be digging ditches or something. And they'll leave that ditch, as high as it can get, right? For you to do all of the work. Just to see you suffer. And that narcissistic supervisor is not going to chide them about their behavior or their lack of work, good work performance or anything. It's all a game. It'll be a joke. But the first time that you decide that you're not going to do all of your work and leave them, some of your responsibilities because they should be working because they don't do anything and you're always taking up the slack, the boss won't see that. The boss will come to you and it'll be another insubordination type of scenario where you're not doing your job properly or performing to the, to the task they expect you to. And it's all on paper. Even though you're a good person and everything, it's not really about who you are, though. It's about who they are. They're low-life fucking scumbags. They're weasel-faced dogs. They live for your demise. They live to slander your name or spread around some juicy gossip about you, whether it's true or not, whether they even confirmed it or not. Right? You eat lunch with a certain person every day or something, maybe because you like the person. Everyone there is a narcissist. So when you find some comfort in dealing with someone who's better than that, maybe you'll have some common bond or something, and you'll eat with that person. Strictly platonic, strictly professional, just two people trying to find their way in a narcissistic work environment. But you will become the hottest love affair ever, right? And whether you are or not, that who cares? That's not the point. The point is that these people are have such low life tendencies that anything is better than their lives. And they'll discuss you. You'll walk by that lunchroom table and you'll have all of these flying monkeys sitting around talking about something that they think about your life or something, anything. It doesn't even concern them, but they're worried about it, right? And they will lose sleep over these things. And all of that is a form of bullying, because if it makes you want to sit at another table, if it makes you not comfortable with taking your lunch breaks or doing any of these casual things that you would do on a job, because your lunch break is your time, you're trying to de-stress or something. You've already dealt with these people for several hours, and now you need to de-stress. Have a cup of coffee or something. You can't even have that in peace. If you go sit at a table by yourself, these coworkers, I don't know, like I said, the setup that you have at your job, but these coworkers may come and, I call it bogarting, where they'll put their way, got some bugs or something on me. They'll bogart their way to your table, meaning that we weren't invited by you or anyone, but because they want to, further, make your day more stressful, they'll come even on your lunch break and they'll invite themselves to your table. You're a piece of shit, but you want to sit beside someone who's a pretty decent person. For what? See, it's all a game, folks. I'm trying to get you to see that. Anything that they do, is part of a bigger game. And when you find yourselves not doing things or not being comfortable in your workspaces, then you're being bullied, whether you know it or not, right? Subliminally, they're bullying you, trying to get you to do things that they want you to do. Just like little children on the playground, just like when they were 6 years old and they push you in the sandbox, right? All of those things, these are the same people. They just got a little older, more developed or something physically, but they're the same folks. And that is what makes this tragic, because you're dealing with these low-level people. You're not going to have any support from your master planning bosses who want to see your demise as well. And they're going to use those flying monkeys to make it happen, see? That's how this works. They don't get their hands dirty. No, they're too exalted. They'll let you get your hands dirty, and then when the shit hits the fan, everyone's going to point a finger at you, right? Maybe you put that sugar in the gas tank. Maybe they told you to do it, whatever. Sometimes these things get as extreme as that. You know? Now, I keep talking about this famous case about the crapping on the floor. The reason why I talk about that is because, first of all, if you people are not disturbed by what I just said, then there's something wrong with you. I just want you to understand that, right? Unless you grew up in a home, right, where, you know, people just walk in and squat over and, you know, crap on the floor at your home or something. If you grew up in that environment, okay, well, maybe we can understand something. But you're still crazy, and they will be all crazy, your family members too. In these cases, you know, someone actually took a crap on the floor, in this particular case, I'm sorry, and they did that solely for the purpose of arousing the person's emotions, the person that they were targeting. Everyone else was in on the game, so they saw the shit on the floor and they just stepped over. Oh, it's just a pile of shit. Oh, you know, la-di-do. Would you do that? See, that's why I want you to understand that, you know, I can greatly empathize with this guy why he wants to leave this job. You got people shitting on your floor at work, right? No seeing eye dog. No. And they wouldn't even shit on the floor. See how deeply crazy these things are. But these people will do things to that extreme level just to gauge a reaction from you, right? And they feed off of that frustration or fear or whatever that anxiety, this bullying and this taunting gives them, because they're narcissistic. They shouldn't be your bosses, but in this world, somehow they have the qualities that the other narcissistic bosses who can bring them in feel that they have. They have good qualities as far as these people are concerned. That's why they get to be your boss. Even though they're mismanagers, even though they have poor work ethics, even though they're like children, severely like 5 and 6 years old. You know, 50-year-olds acting like 6-year-old children. Right? But they get to be your boss. They get to make your schedules and call you at home and all of the little fun things they get to do with this little bullshit power that they think they have. That's just a job. Right? You don't have to stay at these jobs and let yourselves be bullied by a bunch of fucking children. Right? See, and the thing about this is, the really dangerous thing is, as soon as you lose it and put your hands on someone, guess who's going to jail? See? So they got you any way you look at this. Right? You're going to either suffer in silence, or you're going to slap the shit out of someone, or you're going to be in handcuffs, or you're going to lose your job. See? You're going to lose your job. Right? And he'll play all innocent and I don't know what came over this guy. He just slapped me. Yeah, right. You know, if you guys don't believe that these people are on these jobs and they're real and they're doing all types of shit, then you're crazy. We always hear the backstory. We always hear what the person did, and oh, that was terrible. That person did that. But you guys never think about the things, the ingredients that went into that pot to make it boil over. All of the things that the narcissistic mind does. All of the people that they utilize to do these games and play fucking, you know, foolish games all day. And it's a shame that a company would be willing to pay someone, you know, a very handsome salary just to fucking play games. It's ridiculous. You know? So what did you do as a child? You fought back, right? You can't do that in an adult work environment. You can't fight back. You can't put your hands on a person. What you can do is catalog the events. Keep a documentation, and also the more important thing here is to make your exit plan. Okay? I talk about this in my new book, folks. You can get it on my website, www.thinkbehavior.info. The book is called I Love Bad Behavior. And you can read about these things. These narcissistic idiots that you'll have to contend with on a daily basis for 8 hours or more. So troubling. I love bad behavior, folks. I do. But I don't love bullies. Never have, never will. You know, and I was that person I told you as a child. I had a serious problem with stalking bullies. I would whip bullies' asses every day. Felt so fucking good. Wonder why as an adult I just don't like them so much. So you folks like the videos and share them. And I love the new subscriptions I got this week. I love your comments. Please leave them below if you have any. And you guys have a good day. And I hope you're not being bullied in your workplaces. Hope you're not being, spurred on to fight or do anything. Incite somebody inciting violence in you or something. We don't need these things. Y'all have a good day.